billboard, resting his feet on the rafters. Cold breeze wraps the left side of his face. His fiddle hangs by a neck in the furthest corner of the room. Doesn't want to be played, so it isn't. On the other side, he sits not needing to do anything, and nothing needed doing, and the world kept spinning. This is when the earth suspends you, all still. The wind is stronger now, curtain rods knock his bed frame. In 2009, the top billboard song is Poker Face, and downstairs someone speaks loudly on the phone of bush parties and friends coming home. The mountain looks down at the house built through iteration, moving out in all directions every time a baby was born there, bearing witness to the ways that human life will change its landscape. Radical, but quite unpermanent. This is the place where Fabian grew up, and after his parents' divorce, they packed up and moved out, lived in town for a few years before school began, when he left for Montreal and became a biochemist. And I saw him last summer underneath the gazebo, and he was watching his kids run around, sitting with his wife and laughing, and I'm thinking about what he would have now if he had stayed. Would things still have turned out this way? You know better now, and still clear in your mind. A house too, already lived in by long, unpresent children who you saw pass through it and become the men their father sculpted them to be. Youth folded up and packed into its box. And now unseen in the dark on late New Year's Eve sits conjoined twin rooms where you heard four kids cautiously touching and passed out and through the window on that black and fruitless night. The moon cast itself across a field of buried dandelions, shouting something of old springs before long darkness came for them lying beneath friends and family surrounding violent coarse flame that burned next to a barn that pulsed all light and sound against pitched canvas, one moving far faster than the other. And this is how our 2014 was brought in. Foreshadows our longest one night and year, quietly reverses itself again. And just enough to begin where they had once both started, and few resolutions are made. And this is the place where the twins grew up, and when it was time to leave home and go south, they packed up and moved out to the house one door down of their own childhood home, a building vacant of history, or at least one I'll ever know. And one night they ran over their deaf-blind dog in the driveway, and we watched her sister mourn deeply for the rest of her few days. And years later I would learn to play the 100-year-old piano said to come over a mountain. Now, but it remains unknown. Its origin only seen from old 8mm tapes from your dad, built on his own with a pocket calculator and ambition, and a frying pan, a tractor, and the goodwill of his neighbors, and a few dozen trees. In 04 and 03, a few dozen clicks out of the city.